What's up everybody? It is your boy Brandon. We are out here in the factory, and today I thought it would be a great idea to give you a quick tutorial on how to use LED lighting in the studio. Now this is kind of hard because you don't have any type of ambient lighting, and all the lighting that you're going to get is going to be from your LED. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick 3-light setup with some LEDs and RGBs to see if you can get some nice color in the actual studio. So let's go. All right guys, now for this quick demonstration, well, the first thing is I am using the Rode Wireless Go 2, and I also have the new Rode Lavalier 2 mic. So definitely let me know how this sounds in the comment versus the really good lavalier mic that I even been using. But I just wanted to put it on actually for this, and might as well go ahead and test it since I got the new Rode Lavalier 2. So anyway, as you can see behind me, I have 3 lights here. Now these are LED lights. These are the Suit Photo P80 RGB CW LED video lights. Absolutely love them. If you didn't see my video in my tutorial, in my review for the P80 RGB, go click on it somewhere up here. It is an amazing LED light, probably one of the best that I've ever used. So I thought it'd be a great idea to bring it out and do it in this tutorial. So over here we have a P80 RGB, and it does have a Bowens mount. So we have a strip box over here, and it is horizontal, and I'm gonna get to that in a second. Over here we have another P80 RGB light from Suit Photo. This one over here is horizontal also with the strip box on it. And then right in front of me, actually the light that's lighting me right now, we have another P80 RGB, but it is on a beauty dish with a grid on it. Now, anytime you shoot in a studio, I highly recommend you use grids, because grids really help you to control the light and the light spill. I don't have grids on my strip boxes because I can't find them, but it's okay for this tutorial. But I highly recommend you guys use grids. Also for this, I'm going to be using my A7 IV with the 50 millimeter 1.4 from Sigma Art. Just something to get some quick shots in here. All right. So the first thing I like to do when I am doing a shoot in the studio with LED lights, I like to turn off all the lights, and I like to get my rim lights and everything set up first, definitely depending on how many lights that you're using. Now this is really important when you're using LED lights, because you're not going to turn your live view off. You're going to keep the whole what you see is what you get, because using LEDs is a really great thing, because you can actually adjust the intensity and adjust the settings as you go on your LED lights to find out exactly where you need, how much light spill and everything you want on your model, which is really great. So I like to turn off all the lights, and I like to start with the one light first. It's going to be our back light, and I like to see how much that light is hitting the model in the back and how much is wrapping around the face. If I'm using the second light, which we're going to use over here, I like doing the same thing. How much, and actually you're going to make sure you have your model where you want them to, because you want to make sure that that light is hitting her and wrapping around exactly how you want to. And then you want to make sure that those colors are combining and hitting that split exactly where you want it to. Again, this is also a personal preference, actually, how you want these 2 lights to hit. Over here we're going to be using a blue, and over here we're going to be using a yellow, and then we're going to change to 2 other different colors, and we're going to do another color pattern. All right, the main light is actually acting like a fill, because your main light is not really where your lights are coming from unless you have this main light with more color. Me, I like to use my main light with the grid to actually just kind of accent and bring the lips, bring the eyes out, bring the features out of the model. So I like to just put just a little bit of a light on the front of their face so they can see, because if you don't put light on their face, you're gonna have these 2 colors combined, and they're just gonna run into each other, and you're not gonna have really anything to accent it. you know. So I'm going to show you that, and I'm going to show you what these two look like if we combine them, and then I'm going to show you what happens when you put a nice fill light on the front, because this is not really your main light. These two are really acting as your biggest light source. This front light, I like to use it as just throwing it in there so we can see the features, so it's not all colory and everything like that. All right, so let's get into it. All right guys, so what you want to do when you're setting your exposure for each individual light is, again, you want to see where the model is at, okay? And then you want to make sure that you have enough light coming out of your light source and hitting the model, wrapping around them exactly where you want them to be, and setting it up properly. Now, the good thing about setting up your lights horizontally is because normally when you use LED lights, especially in a studio, you're not looking to get like full body shots with LED lights. All right, you're either looking to get some nice 3/4 shots, head shots, something where you can play with lights, but you're not really trying to go back there and use LEDs to get full body shots. So a lot of times having it horizontally will allow that wraparound. Now, if I was to turn this vertically, all right, if you can see, I wouldn't get that wraparound on the model's face right here. And let me see if I can get closer so you can see that, hopefully. But anyway, as you can see, I wouldn't get that wraparound like I want to, you know, and I wouldn't be able to get these colors to combine around the front and everything like I want to. So one of my techniques, and of course everybody is different, of course, but one of my techniques is to turn it long ways just like this, and now I can see that blue come around the side of her face. All right guys, so now you can kind of see how the lights are affecting the fall off on the model. All right, she has a nice wrap around with the blue on this side, and then the yellow is coming in and just hitting her just right. And then you can now also almost see these lights combine. So one thing to live by, if one of your lights feel like it's a little bit too powerful and it's overpowering the other light, you need to turn down the intensity of the light. That way that they can hit and wrap perfectly, all right? So here is a shot. Take another shot. Let me focus on her. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna add this main light here just to kind of fill in the front. So you already kind of see what it looks like with having just those two lights. So if you fill in the front, what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to use a color to accent her skin tones, and then we're just gonna put another color on the front of it to see what it looks like, all right? So if you go back and you look at the pictures, you can see that little shadow area right here in her eyes right there. So that's pretty much what another light is gonna do, is gonna fill in that little shadow area. So now we're gonna try to use the beauty dish to fill in that shadow in her face. And we're gonna take another shot. As you can see, I did not adjust any other lights. I just added a fill light pretty much to the front here. And see, here's the good thing about LED lights. I can look in my camera and see exactly what I need to adjust. All right, so that is using the blue, the yellow, those two in order to shoot each other, and then adding a little bit of feel to the front of them. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna change up the colors, and we're gonna get another little color combination, but then we're gonna put this one on the color combination and see how all three of these complement each other using LED lights, all right? And here's that thing that I was talking about earlier, guys. Check it out. When you use an LED, do you see how the green can come in and you see where the purple is coming in and they hit that line right there in the middle? So you can kind of see exactly how your LED is lining up and how you need it, how much more intense you need one side than the other side. That's one of the really, really great things with using LED. So again, this is just with the purple and the green by itself. so we're gonna go through the colors here and we're gonna look for this blue. Ooh, look at that. Yep, that's what we want right there. All right, and I'm gonna bring this closer, guys, and I want you to be able to see this as this colors change and how these colors complement each other. So this is with the blue. This is without the blue. This is with the third blue. All right, this is without the blue. All right, so the key to 3 lights, guys, is that you want everybody to be kind of like in their own quadrant, all right? You got green over here, you wanna be able to see blue right here, and then you wanna be able to see pink right here, all right? So that's the keys to using LEDs, especially if you're using RGB. You wanna be able to see each color in its own quadrant, all right? So I'm gonna take a shot and see what that looks like. And there you go. Quick tutorial on how to shoot LEDs with 1, 2, 3 LED RGB lights in the studio. Yes, this can work if you have stick LEDs. This can work if you have all different type of RGBs. You just got to make sure that you balance your light. Make sure your fall off and your wraparound is exactly where you want it. And make sure each light is in its own quadrant, all right? You don't really want them overlapping depending on how many lights you are using. If you're using one, put it in its quadrant. I like to come from the back of the head right here to the where the right iris is. If you're using a second light for the front, I like to have it put right in the face, but not overlapping the other eye. I like to have it right here in the center, which is where having a grid really comes into play. And then the other light, like I said, I like to have it on this side of the quadrant, on the other side of the head. And there you go. You got an amazing 3 light setup, LED. Holla at your boy. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe. I'm going to be bringing you some other tips just for you guys because that's what I like to do and that's what I like to bring. Holla at your boy in a minute. Peace.